We see it as a whole school approach, not just early years, but obviously that's where it starts. We see that every interaction with a child is an opportunity to develop their speech, language and communication.
I think all workers that work with children and young people need to be passionate about speech and language. They need to prioritise and make sure that that's in their heart, that that's what they want to do, that's what they believe in. And we've worked hard here as a team to make sure the team are consistent with their approach for speech and language.
We have many things in place, such as forest schools, and the Year 6 older children support the speech and language, and all the teachers within the school have strategies that they know to use.
Speech and language needs to be your priority. Do it every day, every interaction, every one-to-one session, every group session. All of it has an impact on the children. They need to feel valued, they need to have those positive communications to allow them to thrive in their speech and language development.
Speech and language development to us is important to all children because it underpins everything that they do in school and in life.
It can really affect every area of their life. So, for example, their behaviour, emotional development. So it's really important at Part that we identify that early so we can support children so that that doesn't become something that follows them through school, that we can make sure they've had the right input and the right support so they can access the curriculum, they can make friendship groups and they can be successful.
We've set out over the last 3 years to really develop a setting, an environment that is conducive to the development of speech and language, staffed by a team who are very specialised and highly qualified in that area.
For us to win this award, it'd be an opportunity for us to celebrate the hard work of the whole team, the buy-in from the whole school that this is an important aspect of curriculum, but it has made a massive difference and has a real impact on the quality of our provision and the results at the end of the year.
Well, it is clear that if we cannot communicate, we cannot understand, we cannot talk, and it's so important both to understand and to be able to express our feelings, our knowledge. Otherwise, we cannot make progress if there's no communication.
Our school, Tilbridge High, is truly inclusive. We work with a really broad and diverse range of young people, and I'm delighted to say that our staff know each of them as individuals so that we ensure the very best quality teaching and learning in every classroom across our school.
Young people need to develop good communication skills because when they go out into the big wide world and look for jobs, those skills are really, really important.
Our whole school embraces the department, the staff, and will come to us and ask for advice and support where they feel students need that extra help.
Talk to one another, talk to the staff. Don't be afraid to say something, even if they think it might be wrong. Provide lots of visual input for them, and it triggers the words in their memory, which enables them to converse in a more confident way.
What does talking mean to you?
Talking to people about good things.
I think for us at Ashmount, really, we see communication as being one of the most important things that we teach. At the end of the day, communication is the building block. It's the fundamentals where everything begins.
The school used their own measures. They used B squared to baseline an outcome for the students who are involved. And the students showed accelerated progress on a lot of speaking and listening and understanding measures.
We have a responsibility for training and support to families and to carers.
I think the main thing that we've done is to put in our multidisciplinary communication team. So I think that has had a massive impact in terms of raising the profile of speech and language and communication development within the school, from support staff at grassroots level all the way through to the leadership team. So everyone's involved, everyone's invested in how important it is. Really, fundamentally, the single most important job that we do in school giving young people a means by which they can express themselves and a means by which they can understand.
Youth justice is very difficult to understand for adults. Young people who offend need to be able to understand what police officers are telling them, what rules courts are setting, because if they don't, the consequences can be quite significant.
Our innovation was around creating a resource called Thinking About Victims, and this is a resource that really simplifies the voice of the victim. We've been working with a speech and language therapist for 3 years now, and we've learned so much from her, and one of the things that we learned was about potentially the difficulty with victim awareness work, because some of the young people that we work with really struggle to understand the thoughts and feelings of their victims.
The Thinking About Victims programme enables young people who offend to create a visual to support talking about their offence situation.
We're getting excellent feedback from the young people who use it and from the staff. But really importantly, we're finding that young people are much keener to meet their victims.
We entered the awards to get national recognition that young people who offend have got significant communication difficulties and that resources are needed nationally to be able to allow them to understand interventions and learn from their experiences.
To win this award would be absolutely fantastic for us at Clear Cut Communication. I know how much work has gone into producing this resource. It would just be tremendous.
So Mabel is telepractice, and we deliver our sessions over the internet. So we have the therapist at one end and the client at the other. We have activities, we have touchscreen games. We've gamified the whole process.
We've been getting great results. It engages the children with shorter, more intense sessions that they can concentrate on for those periods of time. They're really retaining the information.
So as a therapist, it's brilliant, but also we've really thought about how it's going to impact schools.
As a company, we've tried to make Mabel accountable for what it does.
The team at Mabel have worked so hard to get this product up and running because we know the potential it has, not only on speech sounds, on language sounds, on social interaction, but also on making these children into better adults and to helping them later on in their lives. And I know that these guys put so many hours in, and I just think to win the award would be fantastic for them, and it would mean that all the hard work had paid off.
I've known Gregor since he was 9 years old, and he was a very cheeky chappy then, even then, using a communication aid with 2 switches. And over the years, I've watched him grow and develop into an amazing and very impressive young man.
Having a voice allows me to express my feelings and opinions. I can join in with conversations with my friends. I help other people because it gives me a sense of purpose. I enjoy helping other AAC users to reach their full potential.
He's also a good role model for not just for AAC, but for disabled young people generally, because of the range of activities he pursues, and he has such an exciting and interesting life.
I am a one-voice trustee and role model. I work as an AAC mentor in schools, colleges and privately. I do this on both a paid and voluntary basis. In my spare time I play bocce. I am the captain of my team. I do curling, wheelchair football and horse riding.
If Gregor won the award, he would be immensely proud of himself, but his family would be proud of him and the people who support him. The whole of One Voice, trustees and membership would be incredibly proud of him, and it would be so rightly deserved.
quite a number of children in our area that do have difficulties and delays with speech, language and communication when they start in early years settings.
There's been so much research out now about the poor outcomes and life chances for children with SLCN.
So Anne helps to the settings to support the children by arranging a comprehensive training programme.
One of the things we're really proud of is our Communication Champions Network. This means that in every early years setting we've got a named person who makes sure that SLC stays on the agenda.
There's been a tremendous impact of Anne's work in Blackpool in children's speech, language and communication across the early years settings, and also when they've gone into the reception year and been assessed at the end, we've seen ongoing improvements in the results of those assessments.
Ingfield Manor School is a conductive education setting where we support children and young people with motor neurological impairment or visual impairments and hearing impairments.
We introduced AAC as a curriculum subject because as a team we noticed that as our students were getting older they weren't able to express themselves independently.
The AAC team support me to explore the vocabulary on my device. They encourage me to use my voice first, but when misunderstood to use my device.
All the students that come to the school take part in a AAC or communication assessment when they come to the school. This means that the whole transdisciplinary team are involved, and at the same time we assess the students' access needs.
Encourage me to talk for myself. They teach me to use the internet to email.
We work out the best seating for them, the best device for them, the best access for them, and we can monitor that on a weekly basis and so tweak it as and when necessary, and that is really, really helpful.
We've noticed a big improvement in the students' social communication, both within lessons and in their free time.
It means I can communicate with my family and to James. I can say what food I like, also how I feel.
The continual training and education of the staff in order to support the student is holistic and carries on through the day.
Well, we've been opened as a new academy since September 2014 with a significant challenge to improve the school from a difficult situation. And we quickly identified that language is key for our children's success, not just academically, but also particularly importantly socially and emotionally and their emotional well-being.
We chose this year as our year of communication because we realised that children were coming to school with really severe language problems and that was stopping them from learning, and we wanted to be able to do something that would raise all the children's level of achievement. So we started by assessing the needs of children, and we've set up lots of talk boost interventions across nursery, reception and right up to year 3.
We have loads of nice teachers, and I like my teacher and my friends. And I like when we do PE. It's fun.
We also work really closely with speech therapists, and we have a number of teaching assistants who are trained by our speech therapist who works 1 day a week here in our school, and they identify children with more complex needs and work with them in an intensive way.
You need to start with some easy actions that everybody can try out in their classroom, and you need to keep coming back and encouraging people with new ideas.
And really place language and communication on a par with numeracy and literacy, because it has such a key role to play in children's experience at school.
In its first 18 months, Twinkle Boost has provided support to over 1,300 families. We've partnered with Bernardo's and the Big Life Group to provide sessions which have been funded by Children in Need to disadvantaged areas across Greater Manchester.
As working as a speech and language therapist, I think he felt that there was a lack of kind of accessible support for parents out there in terms of helping them support their children's speech and language development. And on the back of that, on top of his full-time job, he's co-founded Twinkle Boost and put so much hard work and effort into making it what it is today. I think winning this award for Caspian would be a really well-deserved recognition for all the hard work that he's done. It's a real passion of his and he's put so much into making Twinkle Boost what it is today. It'd be lovely to see him rewarded for doing that.
Give me a prompt.
Oh no, this is horrible.
I'll try not to trip over my words.
As lots. Go on again.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry.
Right. Should we have another go? Sorry about that one. Fluff that one.
Invite them into school regularly to oversee what they're doing, what we're doing.
The parents group that we... sorry.
A little bit of a door there.
Right. The more I say, the worse I get.
Something that... Ah, blown it again. Yeah, I was going again.
Ingfield Manor School is a conductive education special school. Now I'm looking over there, aren't I? No, right, it's not going to work, is it?
Sorry, can I start that bit again? No, okay. And I'm a hand mover. Can I move my hands? Oh yeah, I can't. I'm standing here like this. It's okay. Students. No. Don't say the word. Sorry. Is that all right? I'm done.